Hi, I'm Kalavila Patirike Kavindamodini. My student ID is 201736119. So I'm going to present about the Cyber Forensics Assessment 2 Individual. So the introduction. The cybercrimes have heavily increased in the past years, especially in the banking and financial sectors. The issue is rampant due to the ability of the hackers to improve their expertise and technology, which makes it impossible for the bank to immediately thwart their actions. Different cyber attacks are used by hackers to jeopardize the banking system, including phishing attacks, trojans, ransomware, and DDoS. Among the provided list, DDoS and phishing attacks are one of the major issues and need to be properly addressed to safeguard the banking sector. These attacks are determined since they are likely to jeopardize overall stability and may lead to the stealing of data from customers. Access to personal information is also detrimental since it may cause financial loss. This cyber attack report is based on an attack on an online banking company that suffered an attack on the system. The attack was associated with slowed operations of the servers as well as unresponsiveness. Hence, the report provides evidence collection and analysis, key findings, and necessary recommendations. Evidence collection and analysis. Step 1. Cyber attack identification. Identification is the first step of the investigation. It includes comprehensive guidelines that should be done during the data attack. For instance, a baseline in all the computer systems is needed. According to AI Musa, a baseline is a metric determining whether the computer systems or the servers are running normally or not. In the case of the bank, the servers are unresponsive and some are very slow. Hence, with regard of the baseline, there is an attack that is also associated with different anomalies. Once the identification step is achieved, the next step involves a preliminary investigation. Step 2. Preliminary investigation. Preliminary investigation is a fundamental after the data breach is detected. It includes service and systems that are affected. In the case of the bank, the affected system is the servers. Preliminary investigation is crucial since it provides a better scope for the situation. At this stage, it is also pivotal to access whether the data was stolen or any compromised business. Critically accessing the case, the hackers tried stealing the data. The immediate action is to isolate the affected system from the good ones. The isolation is done to avoid the spread of the effects and harm to the good systems. After the isolation, comprehensive scrutiny is conducted to ensure that the origin of the issue is well understood and accessed for adequate evidence. Besides, it is pivotal to collect as much as data as possible for adequate analysis. Therefore, the step is very crucial in such a case since it creates a better ground for analysis. The three first steps lead to a collection of adequate data for analysis. Data analysis. Based on the forensic examination using the three described steps, adequate data were collected. The key data include unresponsive servers, slowly operating servers, and unauthorized access. Analytically, the server becomes slow due to specific reasons such as traffic, poor connection, and jeopardized systems. Therefore, one of the key reasons behind the slowness and unresponsive is network flooding. The hackers flooded the online bank system with the target of slowing the operations and also stealing the data as indicated in Appendix 1 and 2. This was achieved perfectly using fake traffic on the server. Besides, the unresponsive servers may have been exposed to extreme traffic, which in turn led to buffer and crash. With such analysis, it is essential to validate that the hackers used a distributed denial of the services DDoS attack. Therefore, most of the alternations in the server were mainly achieved through the DDoS attack. Challenges. So during the investigation, different challenges were encountered which also need proper understanding. The key challenge is the legal know-how of the forensic process. According to Paul et al. Deposite, the existing expertise in cyber attacks, legal frameworks to substantiate the process may be in an issue. For instance, litigation may vary depending on the geographic location. Another challenge is the inability to penetrate the whole of the bank system due to the security considerations by the management. The limited access is critical since it reduces the capacity to access as much as data as possible for analysis. The last challenge is the hinted technology of the hackers, which is likely to reduce the ability to understand the origin or information of the hackers. Therefore, these are critical challenges that were experienced during the investigation process and must be handled to avoid future challenges. Key findings. The key findings is that the hackers used a DDoS attack on the bank system. A distributed denial of service attack is a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal function of a targeted server by slowing it down or making it unresponsive. This is exactly what happened to the bank system in the case study. It was associated with high traffic, which made it difficult for the bank system to operate normally. The attack was conducted through networks of internet-connected machines which consisted of different devices, especially the IoT devices. The attacker remotely controlled the malware and used a botnet in the banking system. After creating the botnet, the hacker was able to direct different attacks by sending remote instructions using a specific bot. Therefore, since extreme requests were sent to the server, it became overwhelmed, slow, and responsive. In the process, the hacker also tried to steal the financial information from the customers. Therefore, the conclusion drawn is that DDoS attacks affected the server of the online bank. The conclusion. Different cyber attacks are used by hackers to jeopardize the banking system, including phishing attacks, trojans, ransomware, and DDoS. Among the provided list, DDoS attack is one of the major issues and needs to be properly addressed to safeguard the bank. The attack is detrimental since it jeopardizes the overall stability and may lead to the stealing of data from the customers. The key reason behind the slowness and unresponsive is network flooding. The hackers flooded the online bank system with the target of slowing the operations and also stealing the data. Besides, the unresponsive servers may have been exposed to extreme traffic, which in turn led to buffer. It is essential to validate that the hackers used a distributed denial of the service attack, DDoS attacks. Hence, most of the alternations in the server were mainly achieved through the DDoS attack. Therefore, the bank needs to consider the provided recommendations to avoid a similar issue in the future. Recommendations. Employee server redundancy. The bank should consider multiple distributions of servers according to AI Sharida. Whenever there are multiple servers that are distributed, it is difficult for the hacker to attack any server. Besides, whenever any attack is launched, other servers remain unaffected, which also prevents the business from being interrupted. The server should be hosted at colocation facilities and data centers in separate regions. The bank can also consider a content delivery network, the CDN. Therefore, whenever the bank implements the recommendation, it will be free from a similar attack. Second one, the leverage cloud solutions. The bank needs to leverage the cloud to prevent DDoS attacks. It is vital to consider on-prem software and hardware in countering DDoS attacks. The cloud-based solution is also necessary since it prevents authorized access as well as the stealing of data. Besides, the cloud providers give a better ground for cybersecurity due to modern firewalls and appropriate monitoring software. Therefore, with such an approach, it will be easy to minimize similar attacks. The third one, the limit network broadcasting. Most hackers consider sending requests to amplify networks. The bank can easily reduce such problems through limited network broadcast between the devices. Whenever network broadcast between the devices is limited, high volume of DDoS attacks is reduced. In addition, the employees can also be instructed to disable charging and echo services in the banking system. Therefore, with such an approach, it would be easy to address similar attacks in the future. The fourth one, continuously monitor the network traffic. The bank should also consider a continuous monitoring process. According to Al-Sharid, the monitoring process is pivotal since it analyzes the real-time activities associated with attacks. Hence, it is easy to detect a DDoS attack before it actually occurs. This would prevent any possibility of interrupting the server as noted in the case study. Therefore, the approach will protect against any possibility of data loss or unauthorized access. The references and the presentation is end. Thank you.